Well, first introduce yourself. I know you, but introduce yourself
I
to
am
anybody. What's up? Look at all these
Officer
guys.
Mark Lahman
Yeah.
of the Winchester City Police Department, and I have been on this job for 24 years.
With Winchester Police Department.
With Winchester only, 24
Okay.
years.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for your service. I appreciate you so very much. And where are you? You have a really unique job placement. You're not just on patrol. Tell us a little bit about where you are.
I am assigned currently to the Old Town District, which encompasses the Walking Mall
Mm-hmm.
and basically just the general Old Town area, which is roughly 2.5 blocks.
Yeah. And I know that's that's such an important part of Winchester. I mean, I've had so many conversations with a lot of different people where the Walking Mall in Old Town is one of our favorite parts of this community. What kinds of things are you seeing on the Walking Mall as it pertains to as it pertains to homelessness and the work that that we do at the rescue mission?
Well, the homelessness, it kind of runs in cycles. You'll get high numbers and it'll drop off a little bit,
Mhm.
but it's really not large like most big cities. But there is homelessness there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're out trying to encourage people, doing what we can, obviously, to help as much as we can. Obviously, there's a lot of people that think that the police are going to show up and the homeless problem is going to be solved.
It's going to go away. Yeah.
And I try to explain to a lot of people that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And sometimes police officers being in the area kind of makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Not always
Yeah.
better. There's some people that feel like, well, I'm glad to see some officers around. There's other people
Yeah.
that automatically think that, what did I do now?
Yeah.
And that's not always the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. One of the phrases that we've said a good bit over the last 20 some hours is you cannot out arrest the problem of homelessness, right?
Nope.
Being homeless itself is not a crime in and of itself.
It's not.
One of the things that we've also talked about is, individuals who are on kind of teetering this line of needing care. And we've talked about a little bit about the process of an ECO. Can you explain what an ECO is and what the criteria for that is as it pertains to your job?
It's an emergency custody order, which allows us to take a person into custody if we can see signs of them threatening to do harm to themselves or do harm to others, or they can't physically take care of themselves.
Yeah.
But again, it's not always easy to do that. There has to be those certain criteria in place.
Yeah.
And, once we do that, then we'll take them to the local hospital where they can be interviewed by Northwestern, and then Northwestern will determine, the next course of action. And most of the time, it's easier for us if we can use our crisis negotiation skills and try to talk them and convince them into going voluntarily.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do it that way. They're not under any additional pressure because all we're going to do is get them to the place they need to go. That's all. We're just a middle person.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to get them to try to talk to somebody, say, hey, I understand. I know you have a lot of issues going on. You're not alone. Let us try to help you. We can get you to where you need to be, and then let some professional people talk to you and see what the next course is for you.
Yeah, yeah. We really, there've unfortunately been a handful of times where we have had to navigate that with some of our residents or with some of our guests, but we're so appreciative of the work that Winchester Police Department has put in to do that in essentially the most dignifying of ways, right? Not coming in,
of course,
guns blazing, right, into the rescue mission.
Because you don't want to intimidate people. You're trying to persuade them into getting to a better place.
Yep, exactly. And I feel like a lot of a handful of the individuals that we work with have had negative interactions with law enforcement in the past. And I really appreciate you guys working with us and the department really overall to help change that and work really hard in the best ways that you can to work with us to help create a more positive experience for that individual. One of the things that we work really hard to is to remove barriers, right? We want to be barrier free and love fueled in the work that we do here. If one of the individuals that we're working with does have a criminal background or have some kind of barrier that we need law enforcement to help get involved with, that's something that we work together with to help move this individual forward. But you guys do it in such a way that I feel like helps to create, in the best ways that we can, a more positive outcome, more positive experience.
And there's some people that the only interaction they've had with the police officer hasn't been a good one.
Yeah.
So anytime they see a uniform, they're going to associate that.
Yep.
And it's just like anything else. Not all police officers are bad because of the actions of one.
Yeah.
And the same thing with somebody in the community. Not everybody is bad just because one person.
Yeah.
So and it's hard. I understand it, completely understand it.
Yeah.
I would probably feel the same way if the only interaction I had with an officer was every time he showed up, I ended up in jail.
Yeah.
No matter if I did anything or if I didn't.
Yeah.
So we try to do the best we can to kind of strengthen that bond. So when people see us, we're here to help. We're not always here to put somebody in the car and take them to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So you've been with Winchester PD for 26, 27? 24 years. What is one of your favorite things, either in your role or, personally of living in the community for this long? What is one of your favorite things about this community?
It's a smaller community. And once you start meeting people and then people get to know you, it's kind of like a family atmosphere. People are always kind of looking out for each other. It's kind of like when you're not around to defend yourself, the people that know you say, hey, wait a minute, I've known him, I know her.
Yeah.
And, they're actually really good people. So everybody here is kind of, and then their kids grow up together here, obviously. So a lot of people here are really, I feel, really closely connected to ones that really know each other.
Yeah, I do love that. I think, and I've been here for about 12 years, and I've seen how much Winchester has grown, but I still love that there is this kind of small town feel. I love, I was having some other conversations with people. One of my favorite things is when I go on the walking mall is running into Les Beach, just running into somebody every time I'm on the mall, somebody that I know, and just this still small town feel that Winchester has. And I absolutely love that.
The mall's probably like, especially from, not so much now when it's, 0 degrees.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people stirring around. There's a few.
Yeah.
But when you get into the months of March all the way through October, especially on the weekends, it's a really, really good place to be because there's so many things to do, places to go get something to eat. There's music. There's and normally just about every weekend or every other weekend, there's some type of an event going on. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Brady Cloven from Friends of Old Town was here earlier this afternoon, so I got to chat with him. That was the first time I officially met him in person, so grateful to do that. Yeah, I'm so excited for continued development of the city of Winchester.
You're doing a lot of good things.
I appreciate that very much, and I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. I appreciate all of your service and the work that you do, and as always, if there's anything that we can do to help support you and the work that you do and the rest of the police department, please let us know.
I will do that, and it's my pleasure.